Greetings and welcome to the RC Wallet Vacuum channel. Today's video I'm going to give a little bit of rundown on some of the issues and bugs I've had with this Kraken Vekta 5 LSE kit. I've already run the thing a couple times up in the woods and I've not even had a chance to get down to the new track. I'll get these bugs corrected before I get on the new track, and the new track settled in pretty good. I'm just going to give you a rundown quick of what the issues were, what the fixes are. Some are going to involve a little bit of machine time, but the first one, the brakes. I didn't bother to install the Kraken brake setup in there because it did not seem like it was going to be up to the task. So I put the RCR upgrade in there, and that's been fine. There's no problem with that. But Kraken neither supplied nor even shows in their assembly manual any springs between the pads. So the first time up there, I had the brake travel settings set, but as soon as you let off on the throttle, a little bit of friction on the activating rod coming back through would just pull that cam over just enough to drag on them. And you hit the throttle, it would pull away, so it was fine that way. But so that had to be fixed. So let's take care of that. I ended up putting some Losi 5T 1.0 springs between the pads. They fit in there fine. They clear the disc, the RCR disc. I didn't have to machine it off like I did with a Rovin. So that problem's been taken care of. Then I was having a lot of electrical issues with this thing. It would be, when you'd fire to put the power switch on, it'd be slow to come up and it'd kind of be erratic. And I was having some steering issues with it. It just didn't seem like it was having enough power to steer. I did take in the quest to try to fix that, I ended up pulling the battery box and servo mounts off of the original Kraken, cutting the servo mounts off and putting a set of full force aluminum standoffs on there. And luckily Kraken had enough foresight to put the holes in the chassis plate, so they're all lined up for those full force, and those full force were nice. They all line up really good. All the holes centered up good. So that went in there, and that took a lot of the flexing out of it. I still was having steering issues. Long story short, I ended up finding that the original power switch that came with the Kraken is just crap. It's a dual pole single throw switch, but the side of the contacts that were switching the high side they're definitely sensitive, and they were running a pretty high ohm reading across there. So I swapped it out for a stock Losi, and that problem went away. It kicks on good now. And I even had it when I was running up there with this before this. I had a couple times where the throttle took off, and I'm hitting the kill switch, and the kill switch wasn't responding. But that's apparently because I was losing the battery power. Luckily, it didn't get too far away before the switch came back on, and I got control of the servos again. So hopefully that takes care of that problem. So the other issue is up here on the cylinder, or the spark plug head. The roll cage lays right across there, and if I knew how to drive, it wouldn't be a problem. But since I'm rolling the thing all the time, the roll cage is getting driven right down on this. It already snapped the spark plug cap off. So I'm going to machine a piece of nylon that's going to attach to the cross member on the roll cage. It's going to rest down on this thing here. It'll just be a chunk of nylon, and I got to put it in the mill and cut a little curve in it. I'm going to show that here in a few minutes, and hopefully that'll take care of that. And then I go to Polestar the other day, the second time I went up there, and the Polestar comes out and it sticks. And so I'm going to have to dig into that and see what's going on with that. I'm not really sure what the deal was with it, but that was kind of annoying. Other than that, the Taylor engine's been great as far as starting goes. The power band's decent on it, and it's got a good tone to it and everything. But that Polestar, that was kind of annoying. So I got to get in there and see what's going on with that. So I think probably the first thing I'm going to do is take care of the roll cage issue and the mill. It's going to be a mill and lathe job, and then I'll try to fix the recoil starter, and that'll be some of the upgrades for today, and hopefully bug fixes, and then hopefully it dries out this weekend. I go up and test it out on a new track. So stick around. So here's the issue with the roll cage. I don't take that much flexing, and I don't have it secured on the sides. It's such a pain in the ass to hook up. So I'm just going to rig up a part that I'm going to make in a lathe that's going to go up and tuck up in here and rest on the cylinder head for now. And eventually I'll make something that goes probably right up off the cylinder head bolts, the existing head bolts. But for now, there's something in there. You can see it's already busted. But and then you got to, in order to fit this engine here, you got to take this cross piece out. So you already weaken that up a little bit. So I got to do something with that. So I'll head off to the lathe and the mill and make something for that. This is what I got made up for it. It's got quite a taper on there because it's going to screw up under this boss here, and there's a lot of taper on that. So it's going to be up in there. And it's going to be up off the head and a 1/16 of an inch. I don't want that directly contacting that and conducting heat up in there and melting the plastic. I also like the idea of this thing slamming down onto this head, but I got to do something with it. So this will work good enough for now. And then it's just going to screw through the top of the diamond plate, squeeze the diamond plate right through that boss into that, and hopefully that'll hold it in place. And maybe I'll learn how to drive eventually. I won't roll it all the time. Fat chance. Well, there it is installed. It fits in there pretty well. I don't, got a little bit, I want to have a little more of an air gap in there than what I got. I might take it back off and take some more off there. But as long as there's a space there to keep the heat from conducting into the plastic. And I don't think it'll actually slide off of there, kick off either side. So we'll run that and see how that goes. And we need to modify it again. And then I got to get into spark plug caps since I've already broken that one. So I got the recoil off of there, and the little pawls in there are fine. There's no marks, nothing on them, but it just, when the rope comes out, it just hangs up. So on the inside, you can see on the little catch tabs that there's some, they're worn off there a little bit. I'm not sure why. I've only used this thing a couple times. I'm not sure why it's wearing like that so quickly. So I'm going to try to get in with sandpaper and smooth that out and see if that takes care of the issue. So I just sanded those burrs off a little bit, and it took care of the problem. I'm not sure why that showed up now, but remember that one for the future. I have to get some hull rebuild kit, keep it around here for the future problems. So that's a couple of upgrades I've done for today, but my favorite upgrade for today is over here on the hood. I got Todd from RC Ohio sent me one of his stickers. I should say graciously sent me some of his stickers. And I think it's only fitting to go on the Vekta, right on the hood there. It fits in there perfect. It actually means a lot to me because Todd's videos were pretty influential in me deciding to build the Vekta 5. So thanks, Todd. I owe you. So there's a quick rundown on some of the fixes and bugs that I had to work out of this thing and a couple upgrades. And still haven't had a chance to get up there and do an inaugural run on the new track. And they ain't looking like it's going to be that way either because it's pretty crappy out there. It's raining. It's going to be muddy up there. So maybe tomorrow I'll give it a shot. So when I do get up there, I'm going to have some POV video of it on the track off the GoPro mounted on the front. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching.